Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Geek XP. I'm Carson.
I'm Marley.
Neat.
And we just saw King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. That's something that King Arthur does in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's very intense.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about, I want to talk about Guy Ritchie's the director, okay?
Okay.
So Marley, you know more about directors, I feel like, than the both of us.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Tell us a little bit about Guy Ritchie's style of directing.
Very fast.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of cuts. And he likes to do this thing where the character tells you a story, but then you cut to the story happening, but then you cut back to the characters telling you a story.
Yes.
He's got it's a very snappy, like, almost like, kind of like street directing, like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I'm a big Guy Ritchie fan. But
it works in the right
It works in the right settings.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think high fantasy is the setting for it.
Yeah, it's weird. I really like the Sherlock movies. He's the director of both of those.
I really like the first one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of them, and his style I felt really worked because they would do those slow motion kind of like Sherlock would think what he was gonna do,
yeah,
and then he would do it.
Yeah.
And that was cool in those movies. And they kind of played out similar in this movie, kind of like King Arthur's telling them what he's gonna do, and it cuts forward in time to them doing it,
plan happening.
and they keep cutting back and forth like multiple times as he's explaining it. And at first I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, but I was starting to get really tired of it as the movie went on. It was like I was getting exhausted.
At one point, it tricked me up to like, is this actually happening, or is it just his telling of the story of what could happen?
And that's the thing in movies like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or in Snatch. It works it works more in a modern day setting, but in something high fantasy where you're constantly trying to keep track of a lot of characters and like two royal bloodlines and just a bunch of other stuff because it's the nature of high fantasy. You have a lot to deal with.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't work as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times in this movie where it was pretty jarring. As we were leaving the theater, I had to ask you guys about a plot point because I was confused because of how the scene was cut together.
Yeah, totally, man. I get it. So we got a King Arthur movie back in the early 2000s with Clive Owen, and that was okay, but it was very realistic. This one dives into magic a lot,
which I liked a lot.
Which makes sense to me. It's because the lore, there was a bunch of magic and sorcery in the original lore.
Yeah.
So to me, I was really happy to see that kind of stuff, like some mages. They set up the mages and stuff like that. It's like, it was peaceful at one time between Camelot and the mages, and then things start going south.
Yeah.
And stuff, which was a good way to start this story. I felt
and then
like
you get Uncle Dearest, who's jealous.
Yep. Jude Law's the uncle.
Yes.
Who's the antagonist of the film.
Yeah.
Really good performance.
I thought, he's really good.
He elevates whatever project.
I agree with that. He was a good villain, and Charlie Hunnam was Arthur.
Yeah. He did an amazing job.
And I thought he was really good. Like, I liked his take on Arthur.
He's a really charismatic dude.
Cocky Arthur.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, he was really cool. I love some of the imagery in this film. Like I was just talking about the magic, but whenever he grips Excalibur, the runes activate.
Yeah.
There's like this shockwave kind of, his eyes light up and stuff like that. It's really cool. I love that interpretation of Excalibur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really a nice touch.
There's a lot of really striking imagery. Like, Guy Ritchie's directing record is kind of spotty. Like, it has its, like, awesome peaks and then its dives. But his movies are always very, like, striking with their imagery. And this is no different. There's a lot of really cool scenes in this. Like, stuff where I was like, wow, that's a... Particularly the opening scene with the elephants, like that was
biggest elephant I've ever seen.
Because there are glimpses of that in one of the trailers, but I just was not prepared for how cool that sequence was gonna be.
Yeah,
that was an amazing sequence.
Those were awesome. Now I want to talk about some of the side characters a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were able to flush out a few of them okay. Like Arthur starts with a group kind of, and I forget their original names. They rename them later in the film, but they were kind of cool. There was kind of a family mentality.
Yeah,
they started to grow on me throughout the movie.
There was I guess like 2 or 3 of them that I really liked.
Yeah.
For the most part, though, I was like, okay, like when they when they was sad, I was like, okay, I guess that kind of pulls on my heartstrings, but
yeah,
I guess I didn't particularly care about most of them.
Yeah. Okay. We also talked about something. There's a special place Arthur has to go in this film to kind of find himself.
Yeah.
And figure out the sword.
Yeah.
And I think we all can agree.
Wasn't enough.
We wish that was longer.
100%.
Yeah.
And we saw more of that place.
Because I mean, I guess we can. He has to go to a place called the Darklands. We won't say too much more about it, but it seemed like that would be the place where you would get the most lore. And in a high fantasy movie, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a ton of it.
Yeah.
And it falls into Guy Ritchie's previous trappings that we were talking about earlier with the way he edits some of his sequences.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So, if anyone can tell so far, I think we enjoyed the film, but we're mixed on a few things.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the CG in this film.
It had its moments.
Yeah.
Like the elephants look great.
You can definitely tell they prioritized things.
Yep. Yeah. A certain villainous character looks really cool at certain times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's on screen.
Some of the fight sequences look just as good as the Matrix did.
Yeah, there are times
Rubber
where
Man.
There are times where Charlie Hunnam gives Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 1 a run for his money.
Yeah. They go crazy on some of the sword fights.
Looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked sometimes it looked great. But yeah, there were Rubber Man times. So I wanted to talk about why the Rotten Tomatoes scores and critic scores are so low for this film.
Yeah, which is
what is it at?
It's sitting at 26% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's sitting at a 27%, but the weird thing is there are a number of critics who've stated that they've had fun with the movie.
I don't get it.
I listened to a lot of movie outlets on YouTube and stuff, and all of them seem to have enjoyed it.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I mean, I can't read every newspaper and read every review, but a lot of them seem to have at least have had fun with it.
Yeah, and this movie was fun to watch. Like I was having fun. Like I was entertained for sure.
I'm gonna watch this movie again before I watch some other movies that have gotten way better scores.
Yeah,
it's an easier to digest movie. Like
just a fun action movie.
Just throw it on when you want to bullshit with your friends and stuff.
Now, Nate, you brought up the fact that there's a book series that's kind of titled similar,
that I haven't been able to actually find it. So I don't know how true it is.
So there might be some people that are kind of pissed that it didn't live up to the book, but I don't think it was ever based on the books. I think the name was just similar.
I think it's confusing people, yeah.
But this is just loosely taking lore from the King Arthur,
right?
mythos. Like legend and mythos, and bringing it into a movie. And I think overall it was pretty successful. I say we slap our star ratings on it before we go here. Nate, you want to start off with that?
I want to give it a high 3. Close to 4, almost a 4. If the CG was a little better at points, and some of the editing was a little bit better, it would have been a solid 4.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it just a 3 out of 5. I had a lot of fun with it, but there are definitely some storytelling problems that arise, and I think a lot of that comes out of Guy Ritchie's directing and editing style.
Yeah. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I was the one that mainly got you guys to go see it. I was like, I saw the trailer. I was like, this looks really cool. I'm a big fan of Arthurian legend. I wish we'd see more of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we could get a sequel to it. We're not going to because it's bombing in all the box offices.
Yeah.
It's not making any money.
Losing a whole lot of money.
A lot of money's going down the drain. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I might even buy it on Blu-ray, guys.
I kind of want it.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I love Arthurian stuff, Legends. King Arthur. So
So this movie went through some heavy reshoots.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some heavy reshoots. Apparently, the first cut of the movie, they were like, "You gotta fix this."
I want to see that cut.
I think that shows in our final cut that we do get, because the movie does feel very stitched together. Like, it's fun, and I had a lot of fun watching it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it feels like a cohesive whole.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see if on the Blu-ray there's like a longer, more solid director's cut.
That would be really cool if it somehow could get a director's cut.
Yeah.
Like I would totally sit there for like 3 hours and watch.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
That'd be really cool.
3-hour version of this.
Yeah. So let us know down in the comments down below, guys, if you've seen it or if you want to go see it. I would say maybe you could go see it in theaters. I think it might be worth it. See it on the big screen.
It was fun. Yeah,
but I think definitely rent it when
totally.
it comes out on Blu-ray for sure. I'm gonna be buying it. But yeah, where can they find you guys, Marley?
You can find me doing this here on the Geek XP, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram, rebellious_Ewok.
Nate?
Find me here at the Geek XP.
And you guys can find me at Carson_Save on Twitter and here at the Geek XP. And yeah, thanks for watching this, and we'll see you at the next movie.
Bye.